Hello, this is Linda Vettrus-Nichols, and I have with me the most amazing woman, Bhavana BP. Hello, Bhavana.
Thank you so much, Linda. I'm happy to be here.
Great to have you. All right, so we are all connected. Yeah, man. That is always the coolest thing to be thinking about. Like, how is it that we are all connected, and how do we know it? We all have plenty of stories, that have reinforced that fact and the sense that we are all connected. And it's really interesting with like depression, because depression gives us the sense of we are all, or that we are alone, right? And that no one can help us, and that no one understands. And it's really, really a huge place of separation, right?
Right.
Okay.
And yeah,
Go ahead.
and that also puts people in a spot that they wouldn't want to ask for help.
No.
And yet they should be assured again and again that it's okay to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Okay.
about being connected. This is something that has always stayed with me. This is one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in my life, that we're all connected, and in India, basically, it's something that we're taught from a very young age, that the entire world is our family.
Nice.
And there's a quote which says Vasudeva Kutumbakam. So which when translated, it's in Sanskrit, and when translated, it says the entire family, the entire world, beings, as we all know, is a part of the same family.
Yeah.
There's no separation. So the only illusion is the separation.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
In the movie Under the Tuscan Sun, one of the friends comes to Italy, and she's pregnant. She has her baby there, and so the friend she came to visit, the one who originally, went to Italy after her divorce, takes her baby up, opens up the window. She's in the hospital room, and she holds the baby up to the light. Right? We are from the light. Yeah. And
wow.
I don't know if that's an Italian tradition, but I thought that was really cool.
So that again brings me to Lion King, right? The way Simba is shown to the entire kingdom, all the beings present there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think I connect with the Lion King on more ways than one.
Yeah.
My dad used to call me Simba, and I would call him Mufasa.
So beautiful.
Yes, so there's a very, very deep connection between me and the movie.
Yeah. And how long ago was it that you lost your dad?
2 years ago.
Yeah, almost. So not that long, right? Yeah, still mending on that one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I can't wait for your book to come out. That's going to be great. I love it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. So a little bit more about, like, we're from the same source. Anything else coming up to you?
Yes. So what I believe in is that we're all from the same light source. The source is the same, the universe, or the whatever you may want to call that, as the divine force, the superpower, the almighty, whatever.
Yeah.
The name can be anything, but it's the energy. It's the combination of matter and energy that we are, and it's the same source of energy, light, that we are all from.
Right.
So there's again a Sanskrit shloka, which roughly, when translated, it says, the source is complete, and we are all parts of the same source, and we are complete as well.
Mm-hmm.
And when you pull these parts out of that source, the source still remains complete.
Mm-hmm.
And when these parts go back to the soul, it's complete again.
Back to the source. Yeah.
Yes. So there's no way where you can say that there's something that's incomplete in any of this entire cycle, if you may. So yeah, so the source is the same, and we're all the same. So how can you say that you're any different from me or anyone else? We're all
Yeah.
connected
Yeah,
to the same
man.
source.
Yeah. So we come in from the light and we're like totally like embodied and empowered. And then there's filters that parents, tend to put on us. And one of the one for women's is be a nice girl, to the point where now we don't recognize a predator. Like we've lost our wild to know a predator, and we fall prey to the predator, and then we become a predator, and then we start blaming others and pointing fingers and not owning ourselves at all, because like now we've super forgotten who we are. And feel powerless and helpless. And then when we do start owning ourselves, and owning who we are, and we no longer are blaming others, we start to blame ourselves. And that can get into suicide ideation, cutting, addictions, alcoholism, all kinds of things. And then when we, choose to wake up from that state, it's really interesting to me. I almost think of it as like a piece of paper in the middle with some holes, and it's all dark, and there's this giant flashlight, the source where we're all from, where we're all connected. And as it hits the paper with the holes in it, there's all these little streams of light over here. So we kind of do this circular journey of the human, and then we're stepping out over here. So just think of a little stick figure over here. And it's everybody saying, hey, what is it that you remember, right? And that's actually what people will pay you for, what you have remembered in your awakening, right? If you think about it,
Right.
That's what's going on. Yeah. So
Right.
love that. I interviewed enough women to get that cycle figured out. That's what and I call it the 3 stages of the female psyche. Not that it's just aimed at females. It just it makes a lot of sense for a lot of people. So that's been very cool.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, the example that you gave now is similar, right? The source, and then we're all parts of it, and we all have it in ourselves. You mentioned that earlier on, that all that you need, you have it in you.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. So I love it how everybody is really like on LinkedIn, and at least the people that we seem to be connected are really like their hearts are expanding, and they're pointing out what they like about what other people are saying. They're not focusing on the differences. They're focusing on what does connect each other. And it's a new world, and it feels really good. And we're in complete chaos in the world right now as we make this we do this interview, and yet it's bringing the light out, right? It's bringing things to the light, and it's bringing the light out in people, because there's only one place to go, it's to your soul right now, or you're just gonna crumble up in a puddle.
Yes,
right?
beautifully said. Yes.
Yeah, thanks. All right, so illuminated circle, that sounds interesting. What's that
about? The cycle that we were talking about, right? So the entire journey of our soul, from birth to death and again back to birth, it's a cycle. It's a cycle until we again reach the source, which is complete. So we have it all in us. Yeah, Linda.
Oh, I was just wondering, because I know there's like I think it's numerology, you have a 1 year, and then a 2 year, all the way to a 9 year, and then you start over. How does that equate with kind of like your spiritual background? And you alluded a little bit to it, how does that work?
Okay, I'm not really familiar with that branch of occult science, as I may call that as. Yeah, and yes, if you're talking about the circle, the illuminated circle, that's It's illuminated because we're all beings of light,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the soul, it takes that journey again and again until we realize that we're complete.
Mm-hmm.
And that may take one lifetime, it may take millions of lifetimes, it may take how many ever that it could take for
Mm-hmm.
us to understand that we have it all in us, and for us to realize that and work on ourselves to
Mm-hmm.
reach that completeness may take how much of a time that we individuals take.
Got it.
So
Very
that's
cool.
the illuminated circle. We're all connected, and again, we grow together.
Grow. Yeah, absolutely. We
Yeah,
grow
yeah.
together.
So unless I'm here helping the other person get onto this level, and then we move forward to progress for the more,
Mm-hmm.
we're not going anywhere. We are
Mm-hmm.
in it together. We're
Mm-hmm.
all connected. How can you let someone else stay on the same level? You've got to help them move to the next level.
Interesting. Okay. And karma. That's a perfect segue into karma.
So yes, this is something that everybody knows about, and I'm sure about that. And yet, something that we do not understand fully,
Right?
right? So karma, you give and you receive. You receive what you
What you
give.
give.
You give. And yes, you've got to give, because if you have to help someone, it's good to give.
Yeah.
Be the first one to give.
Yeah. It's kind of the
Yeah.
eye to eye, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
Yeah.
Back at
So,
you. You learn about karma out on Facebook. There's plenty of karma teachings and jokes out there. Like
yes, there's a lot that's spoken about karma
yeah.
everywhere, right?
Karma, thinking about karma is another way to let go, like, Christianity is like let go, let God, and with karma, it's like, if somebody done you wrong and you let go of it, knowing full well that it's going to come back and, kick them in the butt, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing everywhere. I think in all scriptures, it's a similar. The concept of karma doesn't change, right? So it's the same thing, probably spoken in different ways.
Yeah, it's like one of the spiritual truths. Spiritual truth runs through all major religions of the world.
Absolutely.
And I like to remind people that religion is man-made.
Oh yes,
it didn't come
sure
here
is.
to make Christianity.
It sure is. But the message remains the same, right?
Yeah, Jesus was all about relationship, and so yeah, I love it how we're like, it's almost like, oh, aren't we just going into the end times here with plagues and earthquakes, and we're even having earthquakes in North Carolina. It's like, say what? My husband's been tracking earthquakes for years, so it's like, yeah, and it's like, wake up, people. That's all it is. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So the more positives you get, the more positives you get. And it's always good to give that, right?
Yeah.
Makes you feel good at that particular time, that moment as well. So it's like two shots of positiveness, right? So
yeah,
the moment you do something good, you feel good about it.
Yep.
And then when it comes back to you in a full circle, it's a feel good thing. It's happy.
Yeah. It's really amazing how, like they say, like love conquers all. So if ego's up and somebody's, just whatever, giving lectures or something instead of like doing their own inner work, and then to be loved and seen and recognized, that person, slowly takes it down to, being vulnerable. And vulnerability is actually the highest vibration. So people will say like love's the highest vibration. It's like, it's actually not. It like peace is higher than love, and enlightenment's higher than peace, and authenticity, vulnerability is actually higher than even enlightenment, which is like amazing to me how, as we go into the energy of the new world or whatever, it is about loving people. And like love, umbrellas the higher vibration. Fear umbrellas those lower vibrations. So yeah, it's really interesting how it's the focus, and you're hearing a lot about it on LinkedIn, at least in our circles, where it's about the heart and opening up the heart, expanding the heart, loving others. Of course, in the Bible, it's like the loving others as yourself, even the golden rule, right? So yeah, I do want
it's
on to you.
yeah, right.
Oh, good.
Again, the essence is the same as we have spoken about, and vulnerability, as I mentioned, through that, because vulnerability is when you know that it's a safe place for us to open up, and that brings out the truth.
Yes.
And when you have the truth out, you build trust, and trust is the basis of all relationships.
Yeah.
It can be any kind of relationship, and trust is the basis.
Right.
It's the foundation, and only when there is trust, there is love. So
it encompasses all the higher vibrations. Yep. Very cool. It's also a lower vibration, which is really interesting, right? So I wonder if it's the heart is over all the higher vibrations.
Then we did talk about letting go and surrendering, right? Letting go is so full of trust, and surrender is so full of love.
Beautiful. Yeah. Brian Cunningham says, love and surrender, love and surrender. And it's like, yes, I love your mom, Brian Cunningham. Wonderful. Okay. Well, thank you so much. It is always a pleasure to chat with you, my dear.
My privilege. Thank you so much.